I know, really, the celebration doesn't even start yet. No, I am not. A couple of weeks ago, I sent out an email to everyone, and it was a personal email from me about a group of kids at Stroman that had qualified for an international competition for future problem solvers, and they needed some money to be able to get to where they were going. So I sent that out, and I wanted to tell you that right now they are at the airport in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They have landed. They're going to spend the afternoon at the Mall of America before they head over to Ames, Iowa, and compete in that competition. And we raised, I'm not going to tell you the amount, but we raised more money than was necessary. And I want to thank you guys for that. They made a shirt, and so this will kind of tell you some of the folks. This is the shirt. And these are just some of the folks that contributed money to their trip. So we want to thank them all and thank you guys. This is a great community. I want you to know one thing. There are 12 kids going, 3 adults. 4 kids out of those 12 had flown on an airplane before today. Okay? 6 of those kids had never left the state of Texas. 3 of those kids had never left the city of Victoria. And they're flying, they flew from here, or they left at 1:30 in the morning. And I had to take my wife out of it. And took a school bus to a Hobby, flew from Hobby to St. Louis to Minneapolis, and they're there now. My wife texted me when they got to St. Louis, and she was like, "Oh, everybody's doing good." I said, "How are the kids reacting?" She said, "It was a chorus of, oh," when the plane took off. So I want to thank you guys. It's great, and stepping up for a community that's really good. I want to recognize some elected officials that are in the room. Mike DeSantos with the school board is here. Mike, wait for us. There you are in the back. Courtney Side with Representative Morrison's office is here. And Robbie Burge with the Victoria College Board is here. Robbie, wait. I have to keep Robbie in line sometimes. We have a few chamber announcements. Tomorrow is the Invista Clean Core International Victoria Open at the Victoria Country Club. If y'all want to come out and watch some golf, I'm not saying it's going to be good golf. I'm saying it's going to be golf. But we will have that. We'll start at, we have 1 o'clock tea time tomorrow. We also have a ball drop that we're doing. You do not have to be there to win. And I'll just tell you what we're giving away. We're giving away a 40-inch TV. For first place, second place is a Yeti cooler. Third place is a kayak trip for 4 and a picnic lunch with a $50 gift certificate to BCS. So balls are $5 each, 5 for $20. We'll take credit cards. You can see either. Yes, sir.
Kayak trip. Are you going to be paddling the boat?
No. Y'all want to get to the end, so you don't want to be paddling the boat. Thank you, Elton. Like I said, you don't have to be present to win, and we'll notify the winners. Talk to Chrissy or me or Silver, and we can get that taken care of for you. We have 3 ribbon cuttings that are coming up. We have one on the 17th at Citizens Medical Center, their auxiliary gift shop. We'll be doing that at 2 o'clock. Then we have one Friday the 20th, Tornbell Soiree Event Center downtown. We're going to cut the ribbon. Thank you. What would I do without you, Tom? Cut the ribbon at 4 o'clock, and that's at 212 South Main. And then we'll be cutting a ribbon at Equity Engineering Group on the 3rd of July at 2 o'clock, and they're located at 101 West Goodwin Avenue, Suite 1050. As we do every month, we recognize a small business and a corporate business partner. Both of these entities that we're going to recognize today have been very instrumental in helping us with our golf tournament, but also they're great members throughout the year, and we're really pleased to be able to recognize them. The first one for our small business partner of the month is Sam's Club. up. One of y'all got to come up. All right. Somebody's got to come up. Get a little nervous if it doesn't come. And then our corporate business partners should be no surprise to anybody. They are truly instrumental in helping in this community and very philanthropic to our community, a great partner for us. They're not here today, but we'd like to recognize H-E-B Food Stores. With that, I'm not going to beat around the bush, and we're going to get going with our program. Our program today, our speaker today is Fred McConnell, and he is the Economic Development Liaison for ACT Inc., Community and Economic Development. He has been with them since May of 2011 as the Senior State Program Manager, and he serves as the primary service contact and sales representative for all ACT work readiness products in 5 southeastern states. Prior to that, he was with the Georgia Governor's Office of Workforce Development as a work-ready community manager, and he was also named Deputy Director of External Affairs for the Governor's Office for Workforce Development. He holds 2 bachelor's degrees in history and geography from Florida State University. Born and raised in Atlanta, and where he currently lives with his wife Amber. Please help me recognize Fred McConnell.
Thank you so much, Randy West. I appreciate the food and the hospitality. I've been here for a couple of days now, and the folks of Victoria have been very welcoming. I certainly appreciate it. As Randy was mentioning, I am a born and raised in Atlanta. There aren't many of us. My background actually starts in Southwest Georgia. I was a forester for about 3 years, and really painting trees, fighting off mosquitoes. And I thought mosquitoes in Southwest Georgia were large, but I was actually in y'all's Riverside Park yesterday. They were fine at first. I mean, it was hot outside. They weren't bothered with anything. And about 5:30, I felt this big pinprick on my elbow. I looked down, it had like a stripe down it. I'm like, good Lord, that thing is huge. And of course, I hit it and it just flew away, so there's no point to it. But what I did want to share with all of you today is something that we've been working with over the years. And we started it first in Georgia, and it comes from ACT. You may know ACT as the examination that's best known for its college entrance exam. They've been working with WorkKeys for about 25 years now, and we, of course, are a not-for-profit public trust out of Iowa City, Iowa, very near, but direct rivals to Ames, Iowa. There are a bunch of differences. It's Iowa State and Iowa. We know football down here. They're doing other stuff up there. But what we actually have really started doing is implementing a work readiness system. And this system is designed to really not only help workforce development, but it's designed to be a work readiness system that goes into economic development, workforce development, and education. Align, link, and match all of those together so that a community can deploy through WorkKeys and through work-ready communities a system that will continue to improve the community's quality of life, their workforce, and really match, align, and link with their businesses in the area. So what really consists of WorkKeys is this starts to your right, ACT Work Ready system. It helps you understand the job skills requirements, measuring individual skills, develop skills and match requirements, and certified individuals' essential skills. I've done this presentation 1,000 times, so I found out a couple of years ago, videos do it a whole lot better than I do, and they're more entertaining anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and fly over to the video because I think you'll find that a lot more enjoyable than me droning on for the next however many minutes.
Okay, first, the good news. The economy is in recovery mode. As our nation continues to navigate one of the most complex economic shifts in recent history, high-tech industries like advanced manufacturing, energy, IT, and healthcare have emerged as engines of our new economy. And now, the not-so-good news. As a result of these shifts, individuals are challenged to find new career paths in these industries. It's a fact. Many of the jobs we lost are not coming back, and the skill requirements for the jobs that are available have changed. Our education and workforce training systems are misaligned and struggle to keep up with the increasing demand for workers with the right skills. This creates a middle skills gap, which continues to widen. This gap puts us at a competitive disadvantage locally, regionally, and globally. So how do you create a system for workplace success to meet the rapidly evolving needs of our new economy? In the 1950s, ACT reinvented college admissions in America, changing secondary and post-secondary education along with it. Since that time, we've also developed the world's largest database of workplace skills. It's only logical that we put this unique knowledge to work reinventing talent development. ACT is the source of information for skill requirements in a fast-changing economy. While many tools such as assessments, training, and certification are already in place today, none of them talk with each other. That's why ACT has developed a series of integrated workplace tools that create a comprehensive, evidence-based solution to help meet our changing workforce needs from the beginning of a career and throughout a lifetime. With our work readiness system, we haven't reinvented the wheel. We've created a new wheel for you to reinvent your workforce. The work readiness system is composed of 5 core components: job analysis, assessments, training and curriculum, certification, and research and analytics. Here's how it works. You start with our skill map process for profiling cognitive workplace skills. This tells you which real-world skills are needed for a job. You then measure prospective and incumbent employees accordingly using our WorkKeys job skills assessment system. If the individual is a good fit, they move on to a skills certification. However, if additional training is required, you can use our Key Train skill development curriculum, aligned with the WorkKeys system. Remember how it's all integrated? Employees with the right skills earn portable credentials like the National Career Readiness Certificate. And here's where the fun starts. Using our skills system as a base, industries can create stackable credentials promoting career pathways, like the Manufacturing Skills Certification System. After this, you can take advantage of our research tools and analytic expertise to better understand your talent supply and demand needs and inform your ongoing skill development process. With ACT's work readiness system, individuals can prove they have the skills needed to succeed, while employers can develop their talent supply chain. You can also close skill gaps with our innovative use of profiling, assessment, training, and analytics. In fact, our proprietary job analysis process is what makes ACT's system unique. No one else profiles cognitive and soft skills. It can also be deployed rapidly, leading to better employee selection, retention, and targeting of training resources, as well as lower turnover. All of this adds up to an aligned, efficient, and scientifically proven system for reinventing your workforce. Talk about ROI. A flexible, multi-dimensional system to meet our ever-evolving workforce needs. ACT's Work Readiness System. Reinvent your workforce. To learn more, please visit act.org/workforce.
So that makes my job so much easier. So what you're seeing in this wheel is a system that was developed and that when implemented in all assets, really is capable of bringing all of those different groups together you see in each and every community and deploying throughout the entire community or region, and even seeing some statewide initiatives launched in the past couple of years. So what you'll see, of course, is that the actual job analysis side, that's the job profile, and you may have been familiar with this beforehand. The assessments, which is WorkKeys training curriculum with his Key Train or Career Ready 101. Career Ready 101 is basically Key Train on steroids, and I'll get into in a second what that means. Certification, and of course the research and analytics. So it all really starts with the job profiling aspect of it. How is it we determine what a work-ready individual looks like? Well, the way that we do that is we ask employers through the job analysis program. We have ACT trained individuals that would go to businesses all over the country. They talk with companies, they talk with individuals that are in the job, get direct input from them to what they do on a daily basis, how long it takes them to do each and every activity, and what skills are necessary to do those jobs. We then talk to the managers and see if that matches and correlates with what they expect from those. That's how we always adjust and always keep our assessments as fresh as possible. If the jobs out there change, as they have very much in the past 25 years, our assessment really correlates and matches to those job analysis changes. We have a pretty large database, and you might not be able to read that, but what that's really just exhibiting is we have, over the past 25 years, accumulated close to 20,000 job profiles. So we have existing job profiles, and lets companies understand exactly what is already out there. So for a computer software engineer, it lets you see that for a medium skill level, they need at least a 4, a 5, and a 4 when it comes to skill levels comes to the skills for that particular job, and we'll get into the skill levels in a second. And you hear about applied math, reading for information, and locating information. These are what we call the big three. This encompasses and creates the NCRC, your acronym for the day, National Career Readiness Certificate, which is a nationally recognized across the state borders assessment that can actually be utilized in businesses that have been doing the profiles. We of course have other assessments available, applied technology, observation, and whenever a company does a job profile, they will receive the skill levels in each and every one of these areas, whether they utilize it or not, because it's just as important to know that a skill is not required as to what if a skill is required, what levels are needed to be successful. So the way that you can really see it work is you have individuals, and I always use this example of George. George is going down the road, and there's a gray bar there. There's a company that is hiring based upon a 5, a 4, and a 6. George has gone in, taken the assessment. He's earned a 4, 4, and a 5. George has immediately identified his own personal skills gap when it comes to that job. So through what ACT actually purchased a couple of years ago called KeyTrain, which is an online software program that allows students to go at their own pace of remediation, be able to go in, have it much like a Facebook account today. Anywhere they have a username and password, they can log into their own account and improve and upgrade their skills. So George can go in and actually take the online assessments and the online training programs within KeyTrain or Career Ready 101 and improve those skills. It'll tell them where he can pre-test, it'll tell him where he is when he starts, and then it'll let him know when he's advanced his skill levels to the point that he can go back to that company and say, I now have the best basic skills to be successful at this job and be granted an interview. Now, businesses are in the room, and I've heard it the past couple of days, and I've heard it over the past few years I've been working around this. Soft skills. These days, you seem to have a lot of soft skills, and whenever you ask an employer, well, what are your main reasons for layoffs, firings, those type of things, and very rarely is it directly linked to having the skill set needed to do the job. A lot of times it's linked to having the skill set to act appropriately at the workplace. Showing up to work on time, showing up to work at all, how to dress at work, how to dress when you go to an interview. So many folks that might have the skills necessary to do the job well are ruled out in the first 5 seconds when they walk into the interviewee's office because of how they're dressed. How to act with their supervisors, their coworkers, and a lot of these seem to be a pretty big deficiency over the past 5 to 10 years. So ACT came out with a soft skills assessment. There is no right or wrong answer. And coupling this with that hard skill assessment, it will give an individual and the company a very overall profile of what this individual's trainability skills are, and also where they are when it comes to their overall soft skills and how they will act once they get onto your job site. Career Ready 101. We talked about KeyTrain on steroids. KeyTrain is designed to help with the hard skills. Career Ready 101 goes a step farther. It really gets to the point where when they start taking the Career Ready 101 curriculum, it not only tells them where their hard skills lie and how they can improve them, it also tells them, well, where should you be looking for jobs? Now, I could have a gold certificate, which is all 5s. That qualifies me to be an accountant. If I went and got hired as an accountant, I'd be gone in 2 weeks because, as you heard from my bio, history and geography do not go well with accounting. I'd be gone because my interest doesn't lie in those areas. So gauging interest is almost as important as actually the skill sets that are needed. So Career Ready 101 goes into developing those career pathways very early on. We see this a lot in our high schools with students that are actually looking to start identifying what career pathways they should be following. This will help them understand not only which area they should be looking into, but what current skills they have and what jobs they are looking to expect to get once they leave either the halls of high school, 2-year or 4-year institutions later. So you heard me talk about the big 3. It makes it NCRC. This is a certificate that actually shows an individual's readiness. 77% of all jobs that have ever been profiled utilize those main 3 skills. So the NCRC will actually give an individual an idea of where they stand nationally. And this assessment and this certificate mean the exact same thing here in Victoria, Texas, as they do in Oregon, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. And to give you an idea, there's bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. When it comes to people attaining the actual assessment, about 22% earn a bronze. About 58% earn a silver, 18% earn gold, and 0.25% earn that platinum. That is your top tier individual. And when it comes to what jobs they're actually qualified to do once they earn the certificate, when I first started in 2007, and in our state, about 35% of all jobs can be done with a bronze certificate. That's dropped to 16% in that period of time. They haven't gone away, they moved up. They moved up into the silver, which now qualifies you for 67% of jobs. 93% of jobs can be done by gold, and 99% of all jobs can be done by a platinum certificate holder. And most recently, for the education folks in the room, the American Council on Education has actually approved silver, gold, and platinum certificates for credits the first year they come into the universities or two-year institutions. It actually allows them to exempt from those first round classes, and we're working with a couple of community colleges in our work-ready communities across the country to really standardize this across all of our work-ready sites. And of course, return on value. I pulled these from a lot of testimonials we have on our website. If you go to workreadycommunities.org, you can read these testimonials in detail, and we always try to update those as much as possible. But you see a lot of things you would expect when someone who has actually had the skills to do the job gets onto the site. Increased employee morale, reduction of waste. They actually have a way to improve their turnover, and of course other things that might be a little bit more prevalent when there's somebody that is comfortable within their job. They aren't overemployed and they aren't underemployed. It's the right job for the right person. It's not about getting somebody a platinum certificate in a bronze job, because you're going to be in the same situation 3 months down the road anyways, because they're going to get bored, know that they have the skills above that, and go somewhere else anyways. And then most recently, if you are familiar with Site Selection Magazine. Site Selection Magazine, of course, is a site selectors national publication that site selectors use in order to identify where they should locate prospective companies across their country. Site selectors never had a workforce development, or at least one they could really count on, never had a workforce development metric to identify what the top 10 most competitive states in the country were. Starting in 2012, they actually started utilizing the number of NCRCs in a state as their workforce metric and what that area looks like when it comes to competitiveness, when it comes to their overall workforce. Texas has been at the top of this list 6 or 7 times out of the past 10 years, so you're more than familiar with it. But you're starting to see a lot of other states that normally not in that top 10 that are very much working on that workforce development side. There's South Carolina, Missouri, and Virginia. And then of course Texas House Bill 5. Anybody familiar with this bill? Okay. This is a bill that actually is going into transforming current structure by creating a single diploma, either in college or career readiness. We actually went and talked with TEA and see if they saw the work keys assessment and the NCRC as a possible career readiness certification in there. And we got some pretty good news from them that it did match to all of their criteria for actually determining what a career ready certificate looks like for them, and that districts that are looking around for some sort of filler and program to start working on that in their areas can utilize work keys and the NCRC as their House Bill career ready certificate program. Any questions before I move on into the actual work ready community side? We have a video that'll lead us into it pretty well. Everybody's full from lunch. Oh, it's You're going to get a brief commercial at the beginning of this video for a business in Missouri. Feel free to give them your business or not. We've asked them so many times to remove this because people use it. They don't do it. It's a long song.
The second workforce ready community in the 4 states. Dr. Colson Moore is live in the studio with more on the story of Drew. How are they coming together to reach this goal?
Well, Tiffany, everybody from high school students to local CEOs are pitching in. They say their goal is to show the world that Lawrence County has a strong workforce that's ready to go to work. Lawrence County business leaders have a lot to be excited about. The county is in the process of being accredited as the second workforce-ready community in the nation.
Any new business is always wanting to know what kind of workforce we have in our area, and this puts the numbers on paper.
The designation allows employers a window into how skilled a workforce is before making a decision to open up shop.
They're getting workers that are more qualified, they're more trainable, they stay on the job longer, and they're typically more productive for the company.
To become certified, individuals are tested to determine what skills they have and where they would fit best with potential employers. Mount Vernon and Aurora high school seniors are currently taking the tests. School officials say the program could help students find work soon after they graduate.
This is another tool for those that don't necessarily go to college or do something post-secondary that way. It's just going to help them out.
People who are unemployed or looking to change jobs can take the test free of charge at the Career Center in Joplin. Business leaders say helping everyone get tested will lead to more jobs and more opportunities for people in the county.
If a company is looking to hire 50, 100, even 1,000 employees, they have to have the proof that we have the workforce in our areas.
County leaders hope to earn the accreditation by the end of this year. Tiffany, if anybody would like to know more information about the program or how it works, we'll have a link on our website, 4stateshomepage.com.
Thanks so much for your attention.
So if anybody goes to Southwest Missouri and goes to Carousel Time, let them know I sent you, and hopefully I can try to get a cut. But of course, why ACT is investing in this program is that we really know that we have a well-documented skills gap problem, not only locally but on a national scale. And we have a real supply and demand issue, and it goes both ways. There are too many jobs and too few people, which is something I've seen recently, and then is of course vice versa. So what we actually implemented, and this is where we started this in 2006, and ACT has really started doing this on a national level the past 2 years, is that we're developing work-ready communities. And this is really a grassroots effort that comes from individual counties or regions and even some states that have done this on the statewide side. And it allows all of their participants that are on their county team, of course, to benefit. Businesses that it allows them to easily identify and hire those foundational skills they need in order to be able to hire a successful employee. Individuals, it helps them understand exactly what's required by local businesses. For the policymakers, it really gives them a way to identify the current workforce problems and then name it and have some way to close that skills gap. And then for economic developers, we have created an on-demand reporting tool that allows them to show either their current businesses or future businesses what their workforce looks like in an easy to read, easy to compute little sheet that I'll show you in a second, so they can understand not only what their overall quality of life, how great the people are, the industrial parks they can park themselves in, but also what the actual workforce looks like for their areas. Now I switched up this slide because in most states the way that this has worked, and I'll give you an example of South Carolina, ACT went and started talking to the governor. The governor said, I like this idea, and then said, everybody here, we're going to be doing this. And about 46 of their counties, which is every single one of them, signed up, and they've now made it a commitment to become the first work-ready state in the country. Well, if you know anything about the Carolinas, the next thing that happened was North Carolina panicked. They did the exact same thing, and they're trying to become the first work-ready state in the country. So normally we go to the state and there, but what we got instructions on very early on, and I've been a student to the Texas political system in the past year and a half. A lot of things usually come from the ground up here. It is really started with the communities, the counties that see benefits in what they want to do and see what exactly they want to continue, and then it goes up to the state level from there. So we've been working not only at the state level, but we've really been starting in communities like Victoria, Gregg County, Texas, where Longview is, Sulphur Springs, Paris, Texas, and Texarkana is our first group of counties that actually started and are going to launch next week, I believe. So I'll be in Northeast Texas again next week. And the common thread. So you heard me talk about the Work Key Certificate. It's setting that national standard for what an individual looks like when they are considered work ready and what levels those mean. Work-ready communities are designed to do the same thing. So when an individual or a community goes in and say, we want to become a work-ready community, they have to hit common criteria that is the same thing for every county that participates across the country. They have to get a certain number of emerging workforce to earn NCRC, transitioning, current workforce, and most importantly, and is always forgotten, the business engagement. Because you have to have that supply. You have the individuals that are earning certificates, but they walk out the door of the education institution saying, look, I'm ready to go to work, and they run into business and say, I got an NCRC, I got a work-ready certificate, and the business say, I don't know what that is. It's really not a lot of use to them. You also have to make sure that you are growing your business relationships. They see the benefit in hiring individuals with the certified skills and really value someone that has skills that can be shown they are trained on those exact jobs. So the common criteria is based on percentages, based on county population. So a medium-sized county in Texas will have the exact same criteria as a medium-sized county in Oregon. These are all, of course, established for emerging, transitioning, and current workforces. They're established for business supporting. There's a number based upon the number of businesses you have within your county. And then, of course, they are going to be completed or should be completed in about a 2-year process from your public launch. And we actually go into an academy process that the day that they send an application, we don't expect them ready to launch the next day. We go into about a year-long academy process where we'll come to Texas, work with the counties that have signed up, get them ready to launch so that about 9 months down the road they can say we are actively pursuing work-ready communities, and that's what that first round of counties is about to do next week. You can see today that we are in 17 states. That southeastern quadrant, the Midwest has always been very active. Louisiana just launched their first community a couple of months ago, and then new for us is West Coast. West Coast is just finally starting to realize that workforce is something you have to really focus on in order to stay competitive. So they've come on board very recently. This is actually the front page of our website. It's an interactive map. Should you click on Texas, it'll give you an overall view of where Texas is today, the number of gold, bronze, silver, and platinum certificates earned, and the number of job profiles. This updates monthly. We run this data for all 3,121 counties. If anybody checks me on that on Google, I might be a couple off. I think it's close. But we do this information and we do this data update every single month, whether a county is participating or not. And what's expected? This is a county actually in South Carolina. They started their work-ready community efforts. You can see that in the middle, they're at 32% done towards their goals. On the right-hand side, you can see their goals there on the middle column, emerging 97, current 15, transitioning 283. They're actual NCRCs, and this is how they track where they stand when it comes to work-ready community status. Now, you can get more granular. You can't read this, because I can't read right here. But when you actually go into work-ready communities, or every county is what we call a gray box. And this is that on-demand reporting tool that econ developers are using in order to show where their workforce lies when it comes to skill levels across their county. You can see that we go very granular here, private, public, high school, college, and then we go across to show exactly what areas they're earning certificates in. So you can start seeing trends across a county to say, well, we have a very educated, unemployed sector. Why is it that they don't have jobs? We have 200 folks that have silver certificates. They are employable people. Why do we not have them in companies in our area? And just to show you an example, Jasper County, if anybody's familiar of Joplin, where they had that tornado about 3 years ago. They were the first work-ready community in the country. Right after they got hit by that, they started this initiative and actually became the first. You can see that we track all their certificates by month, the number of businesses supporting. But on the bottom side of their website, we actually also have a link to all the employers that not only recognize but utilize the work-ready certificate in their area. So you can click on all those businesses. It will take you to the application page saying we require a work-ready certificate in order to apply. They can click on there, and that's where we get that connection between the individuals and the business community. When it comes to start responsibilities, any county that we have come on board, we want to make sure they have a team in place before they start. We want to make sure they have everybody from the workforce, education, business community that has a say and a seat at the table, so that when we do get started, as you saw from the sectors, you have to reach out a lot of different areas across your county in order to become successful with this. So you want to make sure you have everybody at the table to be in the discussion and be part of that team. We will help you set the metrics, those numbers, and then of course any county can apply new ones if they feel like that really defines them as a work-ready community. A couple of other sectors I've seen added are recent veterans, returning veterans, having a certain number of them earn a certificate and find jobs, or high school graduation rate. If you're at 75%, you want to make 78% at the end of the 2 years your goal, we can add that in as well. And then of course with ACT, what we're doing with these counties and states is partnering. We've been doing this since 2007, 2006, and we've seen it done. I was trying to count the other day, over 350 counties have launched a work-ready community initiative over the past 8 years. So we've seen it done a lot of different ways. So what we're really hoping the communities can learn from us is avoiding the pitfalls, worrying about the best practices, and how to really get this set up as quickly and efficiently as possible. So with next steps, there is an application. We're doing another round of Texas counties in fall. It'll be our second launch of counties here. We're looking to expect anywhere from 5 to 10 counties. All academies will be held here in the state, depending on where we have our counties located. Maybe Austin, San Antonio, maybe some here if we get an application. It's just a matter of getting that group of Texas counties together and help them work together to learn about best practices, how they can launch in their area, and what should be expected over the next 2 years before they get their certification. So you just got a crash course in work keys, work-ready communities that I have asked. I've done that presentation in an hour before and sometimes longer. So if you feel like you've gotten a lot of data and a lot of information quickly, I definitely understand. But of course I wanted to open up to any questions that anybody had regarding either the work key system, work readiness, or the work-ready community statuses. Was that good? That happens a lot. I certainly appreciate the time. Thank you.
Fred, thank you so much. And I just want you to know that I earned my aluminum certificate, which qualifies me only to be a chamber director. So I'm right where I'm supposed to be. We do have in the local area a work-ready assessment site. Is that the proper term for that? And that is the Safety Council of Texas Mid-Coast. That's Joni Brown's group. Joni's in the back. If y'all need some more information about that. This talk was a product of our Education and Human Resources Committee, and we've been studying the skilled labor shortage here in Victoria and trying to find alternatives and different ways to address that. And this program came to us through that committee, and we're very appreciative of the work of both Henry and Brett, who chair that committee, and the others that are on there. Mike DeSantos, I know, is back there, and so is Stephen Thames, and they've done some really great work in being able to identify this. And we wanted to be able to show some options that are out there that can aid our community. Just want to remind you of a couple of things. We have 3 ribbon cuttings coming up. Citizens Medical Center on the 17th. We have Soiree Event Center on the 20th, and then the Equity Engineering Group on the 3rd of July. Golf tournament is tomorrow. Ball drop, if you're interested in that, see me or see Chrissy or Silver, and we can take care of that for you. I need y'all to be a little bit flexible next month. I'm working with Congressman Farenthold's office to get the congressman to come in and give a talk, but we may not be able to do it on the second Wednesday of the month because of his schedule out of Washington, but we're trying to nail that down and get that going. So watch your email when it comes to the July luncheon, and we'll work that out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your membership in the chamber and everything you do for us. Y'all have a great day.